Teddy, the goal of the show today on Valentine's Day is don't turn this into the Valentine's Day massacre. Let's win these people some money. But first, we have to recap on those hot topics last night. Overtime is where the dogs go to die last night, unless you were sitting on a ticket that cashed in last night with those Brooklyn Nets. Teddy, interesting stuff. Maybe ripping up the ticket early. Oh, wait a second. We got overtime, double overtime, triple overtime. Woo! Dogs didn't hang on there, Teddy.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. When you cash one like I did with the Nets last night, you're thanking everyone. Damari Carroll will certainly get a Christmas card from me this year. Obviously, the Nets, and they got bet up last night, -6.5 at the open. They closed -8 and didn't cover at any point in regulation, at any point in the first overtime, at any point in the second overtime. In fact, they were about to lose the game in double OT. Carroll drains the three. And then in the third overtime, hits not one, not two, not three, but 4 free throws down the stretch. The Nets backers needed all 4 at the closing number. Swish, 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 swish. Nets win by 9, laying 8. That's brutal, absolutely brutal in triple OT if you had Cleveland. And my apologies, but I ain't giving the money back. Thank you, Damari Carroll. I owe you one.
Nope, money still spends the same there. And on the road as well. Those are always nice, as we like to say, Teddy. Sometimes better to be lucky than good, but taking a look about better than being lucky than good. How about James Harden being great? Hey, that's all fine and good if you took the Houston Rockets and you got to cheer for James Harden scoring 42 points and extending to 31 straight games over 30 points. But that didn't help the people out there cashing tickets last night. The undermanned T-Wolves, Teddy, get the job done and cash the ticket.
Yeah, James Harden is not a betting story. He is a mainstream story. The Houston Rockets have not been moneymakers during Harden's incredible run. They didn't make anybody any money last night. They've got the superstar player at the top of his game, but make no mistake about it. The mainstream media is still looking at Houston as a contender. The Rockets are not a contender in the West. They've shown that again and again and again throughout the first 2/3 of the season. And meanwhile, don't sleep on the T-Wolves. They've had point guard injuries, significant point guard injuries. Guess what? They have Jeff Teague healthy, Derrick Rose healthy once again. And with 2 veteran point guards last night, plus 19 with their floor minutes, even against the mighty James Harden and his giant beard.
Some good stuff to talk about out here as we take a look on the NCAA hardcore last night. 5 teams took place in the top 25. And those 5 teams all won, Teddy. 3 of them covered, 2 did not last night. Some of the interesting ones, if you had that Friars ticket, you say, you know what, Villanova, fresh off that tough defeat, maybe I can get them on a slower start. 1-point lead with 7 minutes to go, and you fail to cover the plus 11. We've all been there before. Texas Tech goes on the road, Teddy, and absolutely annihilates Oklahoma State. You know, tough times there, I guess, in the Oklahoma State area, Big 12 action. But if we take a look at some other games out there, Florida State covers barely the number. Say, man, they won by 20 points. Had to cover 18.5 in this one. Easy night winning-wise for the top 25. 3 out of the top 5 teams there do cover last night. So interesting stuff last night, Teddy. Did you see anything out of those 5 games that, said, hey, you know what? That was a nice comeback win, or that was a nice cover in there? Anything that we could talk about here?
Well, certainly when you talk about the Tennessee-South Carolina game, that one stands out to me, where the Vols led by 19 with 10 to play, and then were unable to cover the 15.5. And it looked like they started looking forward to the Kentucky game, with about 10 minutes left of that contest against South Carolina. A lot of times we don't focus as much about the upcoming game, the next game, as we do about the previous game. But certainly we talk about Kentucky not playing well against LSU on Tuesday, and then Tennessee not getting the money against South Carolina on Wednesday. Sometimes the look-ahead spots are every bit as dangerous as a letdown spot. Certainly, that was the case for Vols backers last night.